Happy New Year, everyone! And what better way to start off the new year is with a lovely sunrise.
So hello and welcome to January 2026. I'm sorry it's taken me a little while to get a video up. Last week was busy. So I'm going to start this video with some very positive news. And the positive news is I went to Maxi-Facial last week and they have said that my gum is healing, so no surgery for now. I have got to go back in 4 months' time and they will have another look, and they have said that surgery could still be on the cards, but for now nothing's needed to be done. So that's good news. And the other good news is last week my car went in for service and MOT and it passed its MOT. My car's nearly 18 years old, so it's got a couple of advisories that need to be dealt with. That will be dealt with, but I was so worried my car was going to completely fail its MOT and it's going to need a lot of work doing to it, but thankfully it's fine. So double thumbs up for the beginning of the new year. So what have I got planned for this year? So there's going to be a lot of decluttering, a lot of tidying, trying to get organised, getting out in the garden. So how do I deal with that? Well, I have done something called a house space audit. So I started by my front door and basically I went round the house and I looked to see what needs doing or what's fine. So I started at the porch and my first thought was I did tidy up the coats last year, but they will need to be tidied up throughout the seasons. Obviously my thicker jackets can go away when the warmer weather comes and I can have my lighter jackets from my wardrobe. So yeah, change coats throughout the season. The one thing I do need to do is reorganise my shoe organiser because I've noticed it's getting a little bit on the muddy side. And then I walked into my lounge. Bearing in mind, my house, I think I put it on back here, is 61 square foot. So I do have a small house. So the lounge, tidy. So there's areas of my lounge that I do need to tidy, but one thing I have been doing this year is making sure my coffee table is nice and clean before going to bed. So I take 2 minutes before bed and just clear the little coffee table and make sure the sofa cushions are all nice and sorted and tidy. Decor. Change the decor throughout the seasons. At the moment, we are in that stage between Christmas and Valentine's Day. Yes, I decorate for Valentine's Day. I only put a few things up, but we are between that time. So where my Christmas tree was in November, December, I've now got a lovely orchid up. I changed out the flowers in the flower pot, and I've actually put a couple of little Percy pigs on the door. Okay, I've kind of got them out a little early. I put the little chick one up and I put the Valentine one up because my door just looked very odd without all the decor on it. And I put the wooden butterfly wreath on my front door. It's not butterfly season, but I just needed to brighten up that front door because I didn't really have any decor until February. So yeah, tidy lounge, get the lounge decorated throughout the seasons. The shelf. I would like to get a shelf up in my lounge to put all my Legos on. I got a big Lego set for my birthday last year of London. So London Eye and can't remember what else in the box. So that will need to go somewhere when I build it. I've also got some little Legos in front of my TV screen. I've got a Simba, I've got a chick, I've got a pig, I've got a tiger, and I've got a dog, and I've got a few more that I need to build. They can't all sit there. And I have, I had still got a clear shelf that I bought at IKEA like a couple of years ago, and I put 3 up in my bedroom for various other displays. And I still had 1 left over, and then when I went to IKEA in November, I bought 2 more, and I would like to get the handyman or my builder neighbour in and possibly put 3 shelves above my TV to put my Legos on, or somewhere else in my lounge. But yeah, in my lounge somewhere I'd like to put my Legos. So I'm thinking about that space that's behind you above my TV. So that's one thing I'd like to do this year, is get the shelf up. The other thing, you can't see it, but over there by the stairs is the bookcase. I need to go through that. I've got my F1 Legos that I built whilst I was poorly and recovering from my teeth surgery. They still haven't made it into the deep box frame, so that's another thing I do need to do. So I do need to sort that bookcase out. And then I move on to my dining room. And basically, when I say dining room, just my dining area, which is my dining room table, and that's keeping it nice and clean and tidy so I can eat at it at least once a day. Yes, once a day is my aim. And also clear around the bottom of the dining room table, where I have a lot of bits and pieces that are either for the dump or the charity shop. That's one of the jobs I do need to do at some point. And of course that area does tend to build up because I have it hidden away. So yeah, it will be a thing throughout the year, is to sort out underneath the dining room table and get rid of stuff to the dump or to the charity shops. Now normally in January the charity shops are inundated with stuff because over Christmas or before Christmas a lot of people have a big massive clear out. And then spring comes and people do have a big massive clear out, so charity shops are normally really overwhelmed. But I try and go to the charity shop when I'm down in Rickmansworth. I normally pop into Sue Ryder. So yeah, I've got a bag to go. What I normally do is put a box under there, but I've got a bag at the moment, but yes. Then there is my little console table, which was new. If you're watching last year, I went to IKEA and got a little like command table, console table, organised the post and all the little bits of knickknacks that I put on there to stop me from putting them on the dining room table, and sort through the post that normally comes in. The post normally goes into the napkin holder. I know it's a snowy one, but it works, and I put my post in there, so if my brother pops in and my post comes through the door, he just pops it there. And then I deal with it if it needs dealing with, like hospital letters, I'll put in there, and then I'll put them in my diary or on my calendar, or I'll have a conversation with my brother, and then I'll put them away in their safe place. Then you walk into my kitchen, and it's basically tidy the kitchen sides. There's a few little bits on the kitchen sides that need to be put away in the cabinets. Now, unfortunately, one of the big things I need to do, and I keep putting off, is going through my cabinets. Now, I keep saying 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, and I keep putting off doing my cabinets. So I'm going to go back to my old rule, which was just do one cabinet for 5 minutes and then call it quits. And if I go on to another cabinet, brilliant. So I've got to do that. The other thing that I keep putting off, and this is I think the 2nd year, we're now in the 2nd or even 3rd year now, and that is getting a new kitchen floor. And then you go up my stairs. Now, for the majority of the times, my stairs are clear for safety reasons. But sometimes I do put the odd thing on the stairs, and I do have this motto that says, don't put it down, put it away. But I don't always follow that motto or saying, when I'm half asleep at night, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take it up when I go up. And then sometimes I've got my hands full when I'm going up to bed and they just get left on the stairs. So that's the stairs. Not too much of a problem for me because they're normally clear. The next one is the landing, and pretty much the landing's fine, except for I just need to make sure that Blue's litter tray is clean and there's not really kitty litter all over the landing. And also regularly change out Blue's water bowl that sits at the top of the landing. So there's that. Then at the top of the landing, I have that airing cupboard or boiler cupboard. It needs to be organised and kept tidy. Now, it's still a mess because last year when I had that problem with my boiler, the boiler bloke managed to lean quite heavily on the slatted shelf and he pulled it out the wall. My builder neighbour, I sent him a video, asked him to come and fix it. He's not been around, he's been really busy. And so it's still on my list of things to do. I'm going to give myself to the end of February, and if he hasn't been around and sorted it, I'm going to make it my mission to find a handyman to come out and sort that out for me, because I just need to get that tidied. But also here in the corner of my lounge, I have got some wooden shelving, and I thought, why don't I also get those installed in that cupboard, and then I've got more space to put stuff on so it's not resting all on top of the slatted shelf. So that's my plan of thinking. Then you get to the bathroom. Now my bathroom, I don't know where to begin with my bathroom. It is a mess. When I say it's a mess, I actually haven't cleaned it for a couple of weeks, but also there's just stuff everywhere that I need to deal with. Again, I need to follow my 5-minute rule and just start in a little area and just do that little area and walk away. But I just keep procrastinating on it. And yeah, I looked at it earlier and I was like, it's on my to-do list to do. So if I just do the whole thing in one go, or if I just do 5 minutes in the bathroom and then walk away, that's what I'll do. Haven't quite decided yet. And then you of course go to my bedroom. Now, one thing I really do want to do this year is sort out underneath my bed, because I haven't pulled out underneath my bed for a couple of years and it is so dusty. So I do need to pull out under my bed. The other major thing I do need to do in my bedroom is pull out the whole of my wardrobe. And I don't mean just go through my clothing. I need to get a better solution. So either I pull out that chest of drawers in there because it really isn't working. It's hard to pull open the drawers to where the doors open, where you open the doors to the wardrobe, because they concertina. I put that chest of drawers in a good few years ago now. It doesn't really work because I'm trying to get my hands into a little area and pull out the clothes. I've had a few ideas from IKEA, but actually before I can even do that, I need to do a deep declutter inside my wardrobe. I've got a huge suitcase in there that's broken. That's going to come out. I'm going to get rid of that. And I just need to go through all the stuff that's in that wardrobe and be honest with myself. I've got the bookcase, the little bookcase by the window to tidy. I've got the bookcase that's by my bed. There's so many books in there that I haven't read. Will I read them? Most likely not. A lot of them are signed to me, so I will put them in a box under my bed, like my Jensen Button ones. Tidy the cupboard in my room. I've got a cupboard that's behind a closed door. That needs a whole lot of working to do, to sort it out and organise it again. It's got in such a mess. And then of course, tidy and organise my desk, because yeah, that's a mess also. And I need to keep on top of my paperwork, which I have been trying to do. So that's my audit, my space audit for my house this year. The other thing I have been doing and I want to start up again, and I have started up again, is the habit tracker. You probably can't see that because it's printed out really faint on my printer. I unfortunately put it in grayscale. So I've got one of those. I did reprint it. I have been doing it, as I say, we are like the 19th of January today. So I have been, for the most part, doing really well on it, except for a couple of days last week when I was really, really busy and stressed out with hospital, my dad's car going in for service and MOT, and then my car going in for service and MOT. There was just a couple of days where my house just went on me, and I was just like, I will claw it all back when I have a bit more time. I clawed it back. It didn't get too messy. I clawed it back. It was mainly my kitchen and my laundry that needed sorting, but I have clawed it back. So that's my plan for this year, is to do habit trackers, stuff around my house, meal planning. I've got that meal planner up in the kitchen, so I want to be doing that. I also have on my fridge, I have the weekly planner to do my weekly plan on, so I know where I'm going. And also if my brother pops in, he kind of knows where I am during the week too, because I'm normally not that far from home. So yeah, it's I've got things planned, and then that's just kind of round the house. And then you get to March, when I will be outside. So on rainy days I'll be doing stuff inside, and on nice days I'll be trying to get at least 5-10 minutes out in the garden and getting that all tidied up, as well as doing my day job. And for any of you that are new here, my day job is I'm a domestic cleaner, and yet I struggle with my own house. But I clean 2 to 3 houses every day, and I come home. I don't really want to be doing mine. I want a break. But yes, I will still have to be doing my cleaning schedule, as well as doing my own house, as well as doing the gardening, as well as having some downtime. And also, when I'm not doing that, I also need to fit in one big thing this year, which is exercising. Yes, you heard me right. I have started doing a bit of exercising, mainly because my strength is going. I don't want to bore you out, but with my HRT, I've definitely noticed my arms are losing their strength, and it is natural when you're on HRT. So I have been doing some exercises with weights, but also it's good for the mind and of course the body. The other thing I'm trying to do is to eat food from the freezer. So back in December, I went through January, whatever it was, in whichever video it was, I went through my freezer and I wrote down a list of what was in the freezer. I'm steadily going through that list of foods, and then once I clear out my freezer, I can then put the more healthier things in. When I do batch cooking, it does go in the freezer, because obviously I cook more than I need to. So yes, that's the plan for this year.
And how did I completely forgot to mention about the Formula 1 season starting up again in March? Oops.
I know there are a few of you that have been asking me about decluttering challenges. I will try and do one for February. I won't be uploading every day. I will probably do like a recording over a week and then upload it. But I really am going to try and get February in. The only thing I will have is 2 days when, so 13th, 14th of February is my dad's birthday. He's a Valentine boy. It's a big birthday. I don't know what we have planned, so I will be kind of having a couple of days where I will be probably trying to deal with that. We haven't had a proper discussion as family yet what's happening for my dad's birthday, but he's got a big birthday, so I will probably have some sort of project on for that. So yeah, might be a couple of days in February where I don't get anything recorded, and then I'll play catch up. But if not, I will try and get a decluttering done in March. And hopefully I will be getting a decluttering done because you have been asking for them. And you're saying they're motivational and you just need the help. So I will really, really try. I mean, even I could put kitchen in there, bathroom in there, bedroom in there, wardrobe in there. Who knows? But anyway, I like to do after exercising is to go through my to-do list. And I always write a to-do list the night before, literally just before I go up to bed. I put down everything on my to-do list. Now, I am one of them people that overdoes a to-do list, but basically it's a brain dump. It gets rid of everything in my brain. Doesn't mean I need to do the whole list, but ideally do the first 3, and then anything after that is a bonus. And I remember my CBT therapist saying that to me, just pick the 3 that are most important to you on the day. So for me, on here, I've got feed and medicate Blue at 7:35, which I've done. It's now 25 to 9. Exercise to weights, tick. And then I've got breakfast and meds on here. I'm just about to have my cup of coffee, so that's there. I will get my breakfast. But also on here I've got Hoover House under breakfast, at which point Blue should have settled on my bed upstairs. So then I can hoover the house, and then I can shower, and then the next thing I've got to do after my shower is, and it's very important, my paperwork. Now, people say to always eat your frog first, and what that means is do the worst thing you hate doing first off. And for me, it's paperwork. So ideally I should have done paperwork when I woke up this morning. However, Blue's just walked in the room. I'm glad you can't see him. He decided to have a watch for me. Blue. There you go. Hey Blue. They say never work with animals or children. Hey, what's the to-do list today? Mum's to-do list. Yeah, it's a bit of a long one, isn't it? Is it a bit of a long one? Did I do your medications? Yes. Have I done my exercise? Yeah. I've got my cup of coffee. I need to have my breakfast. I need to hoover. But somebody has walked in the lounge. So I'm going to have to leave the hoover until later. So yeah. And then after I've done my paperwork, I do need to film my segment for my New Year video, which part of this is for. And then I've also got to meal plan, weekly plan, which I always like to do on a Sunday. And then I also like to get ready for the working week. So I like to put my clothes out. Be good. I like to put my clothes out for the next day. And also under star, unload the dishwasher, because I did put the dishwasher on last night, so I do need to unload it. Am I going to get all of this done today? I hope so. With that, I'm going to sit here and just sit and relax with my cup of coffee. And just, that was an intense 20-minute workout.
So the next question I know you're going to ask me is, what have I been up to so far this month? Well, let me show you. So in January, I have already built a little bit of my Lego, had lots of snuggles with Blue. I'm making sure Blue's getting in some exercise, even if it is trying to get treats out of a treat dispenser. I also deal with my post the moment it comes through my front door. If it's junk, it goes straight in my recycling bin. Something I'm trying to implement this year is to tidy up before I go to bed. So have a quick 2-minute tidy. So like the little coffee table, I want to keep tidy. So I'm going to do that in a second. And of course, at the beginning of January, I put away my Christmas decor. This was the last photo I took before I took all the decorations down.
Wish Tiggy a Happy New Year. Good boy. Is that Tiggy? Good boy. Well done for wishing him a Happy New Year, sweetie. Good boy.
As well as the usual, trying to keep up with the laundry and actually putting it away also. And I also attended the Carols and Christmas Cocktails event. And I have also nipped the hoover around the house a few times. I'm also loving the new series of Masked Singer. Even Blue seems to like to want to help with the clues. And Blue has been loving lots of treats, especially before bed. Easter has already hit some of the stores, I am not joking. Along, of course, with Valentine's Day. My client gave me a very late Christmas present, which was a lovely glass angel. And I'm also trying to get my blepharitis under control. But most importantly, I have loved seeing the lovely sunrises we have been getting. But we also have had a cold snap so far this year, where we have seen snow. And Blue is still searching for whatever that is that he can hear or see underneath my dining room table. But most importantly, we have both enjoyed having lots of cuddles together.
I'll shut up waffling and I'll see you later. Bye.